Dreams do come true, everybody. Sora from Kingdom Hearts is in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The internet is going absolutely nuts. I'm going absolutely nuts. People are still talking about it. I have watched the presentation itself, the entire 40-minute presentation, like 15 times now. I just can't get enough of it. I'm so freaking excited, as I'm sure many of you are. Like I said, the internet is just going insane. It's amazing. It's like magic, and how incredibly fitting here at the very end of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. People are freaking out. There are so many videos out there now that are they're talking about, like, they're hyped for him, analyzing his moveset, stuff like that. And I mean, certainly a lot of the stuff I talk about here will probably have already been covered for sure. So maybe at first, thought there wouldn't be much of a reason to make a video like this, but I just kind of wanted to give my take on how I'm feeling about it, what I think about how he looks, go into a little bit of kind of his moveset, and maybe offer a little bit of perspective that some other fans who feel differently, might feel about it. But yeah, to start, I just feel like we need to talk about this because I just need to get it all out there. I'm so absolutely excited. And to start, it's amazing. It's amazing. His reveal trailer is, in my opinion, maybe the best in all of Smash Ultimate. There's such a sense of kind of epicness and finality to it, which I wasn't sure if they were going to do, to be fair. Most Smash fans kind of know that Smash is notorious for ending cycles, like kind of on not a whimper, but on a smaller note. And that's not to say that that's not a subjective matter for certain, but in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it it's like the characters and reveals that Super Smash Bros. Tends to end on is like one that the majority don't find as interesting as some of the earlier revelations. And going into this final fighter, a lot of people kind of had that mindset. They were like, okay, Smash doesn't end on a bang. It's probably going to be, some sort of like first party advertisement pick. It's probably going to be some sort of like third party advertisement pick. It probably won't be particularly exciting. And I have to admit, even me, myself, I was in this mindset, and I have never been so happy to be so damn wrong. I am so happy to eat my words on this one. A lot of people holding out hope. Good on you for doing so. And I should have known, because this is Smash Ultimate. This is the game that has proven time and time again that Nintendo can make the impossible happen, that they can make Sakurai and his team can make these dreams come true for the ultimate fighting game crossover. And what a trailer, right? It's incredible. There's not a whole lot of Kingdom Hearts references to it. It's pretty straightforward, but I personally think that as a mixture of both that Kingdom Hearts essence and as a final Smash Brothers reveal, it's perfect. It comes full circle with the Inkling staring at the Smash symbol. All the characters are gathered around, and there's this awesome moment where the flame goes out, as it is in a sense as we're nearing the end of our Super Smash Bros. Ultimate journey. The flame goes out, and it's kind of like an all hope lost situation. Like the party's over, everyone turns back into their trophies, and it's a dour moment. And then the icon of gaming himself, Mario, he is awakened by one last spark of hope. That's what I love. It's like the flame is going out, but there's one last spark of hope. There's something holding on in there. Mario musters his courage and he manages to overcome it, and lo and behold, it is revealed that this final beautiful light that has come to save the Smash Bros. Universe is Sora. There was an amazing comment on the Smash on the presentation that was like, they introduced Sora in this trailer like he's the son of God, and it's kind of true. Which actually is pretty fitting for Sora's character, to be honest. I love it. I absolutely love it. The full trailer is, you get Simple and Clean instrumental in there. It's beautiful. It's tier worthy. It's perfect. It's perfect. It is, in my opinion, just probably the best Smash Ultimate trailer. And just talking on that front, I can't think of a possible better ending for Smash Ultimate to end on. Maybe like Master Chief, but in terms of just what Smash Ultimate was about, because Smash Bros is about many things, but Smash Ultimate was really kind of about blowing away your expectations and proving that they can make the impossible possible. Now, there are certainly people who were holding on hope. Good on you. I was not exactly one of those people. I thought Sora probably could not happen, to my shame. I am so happy to be wrong, but I thought, yeah, maybe they just didn't want to like pay Disney that much money. Who knows? I came from it from a more cynical mindset at first, and Sakurai and the team completely proved me wrong and proved many people wrong. And how incredibly poetic that the game that is all about achieving all these impossible things ends on the most impossible reveal ever. I think they clearly saved Sora for last on purpose, and it was brilliant. It was a genius idea, and you couldn't have gone out on a bigger note. But not only can we now be excited that Sora has become a part of Smash Bros. And is there, and it's real, and I keep waking up and thinking it's gonna go away, but then it's real, and it's actually, you look at it and it's like, it looks like a mod. You're like, he's real. He really is here. Sakurai himself says it. He's so cute. Sakurai himself says it. But not only do we get the reveal, but now we get to actually play as him. And that dawns on me. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a video game. We get to play as him. And that's kind of a lot of the kind of main focus of this video that I wanted to talk about. How he is represented in the game. First and foremost, I just want to put it out there. I'm ecstatic about this. I think he looks incredible. I honestly could it would be hard to make me happier with the way he's being handled. So I'll just put that out there right now. And the way that they've kind of decided to focus on Sora and the way he plays and the way he's represented is really to kind of go for like a almost entirely Kingdom Hearts 1 approach. He is like, especially his moveset, he is like 95% Kingdom Hearts 1. I was surprised by this. A little bit. I thought maybe they would go for more of the Kingdom Hearts 2 effect, the fan favorite. I would say that's probably the most popular one in the series. Maybe they would go for that. Maybe they would go for more of a 3 approach because it's the most recent. Keep him kind of more up to date. I actually wasn't expecting a ton of 1 representation. I was expecting his outfit for sure. But I wasn't sure how much of Kingdom Hearts 1 would be in there. And it turns out it's almost entirely. And I think a couple people are surprised by that. Now, personally, me, I'm a really big Kingdom Hearts fan. There are certainly people who know more about it than me and are bigger fans for sure. But like, I really, really enjoy the series. I've played them all. But I have a special place in my heart for the first game. It was the first one I played. I really grew up on it. It kind of like was there when I was when I was leaving my teen years, you know, that kind of like effect, right? It's my personal favorite. I just personally feel like Kingdom Hearts 1 kind of has this essence or feeling to it that the other ones in the series don't have. That's not to say that it's like objectively better. I would certainly say that the gameplay is and maybe level design is not quite as strong. But I've always felt that the story of one and the atmosphere and just this hard to explain nature of one kind of transcends the other ones. For me personally, everyone has their favorite, but I love one. So I am over the moon that, of course, that Sora is essentially a representation of the first game. And let me tell you, as somebody who's played the first one, like, 100 times, it's perfect. It's so uncanny how well he resembles it in the details, in the animation. It's probably not too surprising because it's Sakurai and his team, and Sakurai's known for this. He's known for just going above and beyond with making characters feel faithful to their original, interpretations. And but I have to say, like, there's some stuff in here that still blew me away. I've watched the presentation a lot now, and looking at it, I'm so impressed with some of the stuff that they've managed to do. For starters, Sora has a traditional, or not a traditional, just kind of like a basic 3-hit combo that he can do when the player either taps A 3 times or holds A 3 times, or the action button. And it is like shot for shot, like it's the classic Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, like it's perfect. It's like it's recreated beautifully, but they didn't even stop there. That's like, they could have just stopped there probably, but then if you use the tilt attack instead, he'll do like a 3-hit combo that's similar to the other one, but instead he opens up with a move from Kingdom Hearts 1 called Slap Shot, which is like this like uppercut move, like this really quick uppercut move, like, and you'll recognize if you know Kingdom Hearts 1. And I'm watching, I'm like, that's Slap Shot. They like squeeze that in there just to be like a little different and throw in a little more. Sakurai doesn't even mention it. He doesn't even mention that that's what it is, but it's in there. And I'm like, that's Slap Shot. That's so cool how much detail they put into this. It's so awesome. And then he has a different tilt combo in the air. His aerial combo, I might be wrong about this. I'm not a Smash expert. I'm not very like good at the game, and I certainly don't like know enough about the technical stuff. But I think Sora is now it took me a while to even realize this, but I think Sora's now the only fighter, or one of the only fighters in the game, that he has a full 3-hit combo in the air. It didn't even dawn on me until later that I was like, oh yeah, like all the other fighters, if you jump in the air and do a basic A button attack, it's like one swing or one punch or one hit. Sora, he does a full like 3-hit juggle, like where it's like like if you hold the button or if you keep pressing it. And unlike other fighters, he doesn't like keep falling as he's doing it. He like literally juggles the other character in the air. And I think he's the only fighter that really does something like that. And I was like, of course he does, because it wouldn't even feel like Sora if he didn't do that. If you really think about it, like if Sora did, Kingdom Hearts is a series that's all about like the gameplay is all about like combos and juggling your enemy in the air a lot of the time. Sora in this game is very he's adept at aerial combat. And while that's not like entirely Sora's thing in the series, that definitely fits for Smash, because aerial combat is a huge factor in Kingdom Hearts. So it makes sense. It's like, it wouldn't feel like Sora if he just did like one swing, it wouldn't feel right. And so that's like, just, it's perfect. Like, you need to have that in there. And I think watching this, I'm like, you see it. You're gonna feel like you're playing as Sora. There is of course a 2D entry called Chain of Memories, where he a lot of the time is fighting on a 2D plane, and I feel like it's almost just gonna feel like just like that, minus the cards, you know. But and there are other things, right? His down air is a move called Hurricane Blast, which is one of my personal favorites. It's very Sora-y. He spins around. It's very cute. So cool that they threw that in there. They even threw a couple Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 stuff in there. His up finisher, his up smash is a like a Kingdom Hearts 3 finisher. His down smash is a Kingdom Hearts 2 finisher, combo finisher. Every single move he does, every single move is straight out of either Kingdom Hearts 1 or a little bit of the other games, but almost entirely Kingdom Hearts 1. And it is shot for shot, like perfect. And there's so much other detail in it, right? I didn't even notice this at first, but when he's in his standard standing position, you know, his classic knee bent, which is so cool to see in Smash. It makes him feel so real, you know. When he's doing his standard standing position, he actually does the Kingdom Hearts 1 thing where he like looks around, like in the original Kingdom Hearts. I don't think it's in the other entries, but in the original Kingdom Hearts, when Sora's still in battle and he is in his battle position, he actually like looks around the battlefield, like for the enemies that he's fighting, and he does that in Smash Ultimate. He does that. Like, if you stand still long enough, it's so cute. Oh my god, and his taunts are adorable. He's perfect. I think they absolutely nailed it. All of his specials are from Kingdom Hearts 1. He's got aerial sweep from Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. He's got counterattack, which I did not expect. He even does the thing in Kingdom Hearts 1 where counterattack, he like lets go of it with one hand and goes like that. Like he does that. It's a really satisfying move in my opinion in Kingdom Hearts 1, where like if you successfully guard, you're able to counterattack, and he does it with like one hand. It's really cool. He does that in Smash. Verbatim. It's so awesome. Everything. It's a perfect representation of what Sora is like in the games. He's cute. He in my opinion, I love the KH1 Sora look on the other costumes. I actually think he looks really good in the Kingdom Hearts 3 outfit in particular with that Kingdom Hearts 1 face and hair. It just looks really good. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of it. Smash Bros is very good at kind of giving like a definitive version of what a character like should look like. It's very good at that. It's got like my favorite cloud design too. But yeah, it's like perfect. The Timeless River alt is so good. Just have to mention that real quick. It's all really good. But I was surprised. I was a little surprised. And I got that it was, I stopped and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was happy that he's almost like entirely represented by Kingdom Hearts 1, the original game. But I stopped and I was like, huh, I imagine that some fans might not be particularly happy with that. And my one friend did tell me that he had heard some friends like say like, yeah, they were a little bummed that he didn't have more Kingdom Hearts 3 in him, more Kingdom Hearts 2 in him. And I can certainly understand that. I was very surprised. What I personally thought they were going to go for was kind of an amalgamation. Like when I thought like before I knew Sora was in, I was like, okay, how would you do Sora? I was like, I would imagine he might have like a mixture of things from the series. Maybe he'll have flow motion, and he'll have Keyblade transformations, or he'll have the cards from Chain of Memories. I don't know. Like maybe they'll mix and match from throughout the series. And some people might have wanted that, or they might have just wanted them to go all three, all two, you know. But I stopped and I thought about it, and I was like, if you really think about it though, that approach kind of doesn't work, because if you instead have this kind of Sora in Smash that's just using like a celebration of moves from throughout the whole series, it sounds cool on paper, but like it's kind of almost like a Frankenstein's Sora at that point. It's not really Sora anymore. And I'm sure other people came to this conclusion already, but like, yeah, I was like, okay, that's kind of a good point. If he's doing moves from throughout the whole series, he's not really any particular Sora. And as we know, that's one thing that like Smash is all about and Sakurai is all about. It's like a faithful representation of a character in Super Smash Brothers. One of the coolest things about Super Smash Brothers is that even though you're playing a fighting game, oftentimes the characters that you're playing as feel like they're controlling and playing like the way they play in their respective games. It's really cool. And that's what they're all about. And I do think that if you were to do that, if you were to actually have all these elements mixed into a blender, it's not necessarily Sora anymore. It's like a weird, like Frankenstein's Sora. And number two, not only that, but like, I imagine that could have actually, maybe they thought about something like that, maybe. But as you may or may not know, one of the biggest criteria for having Sora in Smash from the Disney company, is to it was that Sora would be like very faithful to who Sora is. He would feel like Sora, he'd look like Sora, he wouldn't betray the character in any way. So I would imagine that would be the best way to go about that, is just stick to basically one game. Make him feel like at least one of the Soras almost completely. I could be wrong. Maybe that was part of the development process. I don't know. Some people think it's because he would have been too like overpowered if he had moves from the other games in the series. I personally don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, we have characters that do all sorts of wild shit in all their respective games, like Bayonetta, for example, and they're not overpowered. I mean, she was in Smash 4, but you know what I mean. They figured it out, and they could have for Sora, in my opinion. But I'm happy with what they went for. I think it makes a lot of sense. And if you are to pick one game, if you say to yourself, well, okay, you stick to one game mainly so that he feels like at least one of the Soras, Kingdom Hearts 1 kind of makes the most sense to me. It's not always everyone's favorite, but it is kind of the most iconic, probably. I don't think many would argue with that. Because it was so influential at the time. It made so many people fans in the first place. And you by going for that, you have the most simple and clean, representation possible. You keep it simple. You keep it simple and clean. And that's like the best way to go about it. It makes the character, just easier to pick up and play. It makes the most sense to me. But what I was really surprised by, and this is only a slight disappointment I have, because other than that, I think that this is all basically perfect. But one of the slight disappointments I do have is that not only is he aside from the costumes, he's almost entirely Kingdom Hearts 1. Not only in his moveset, but in the other elements. The stage is only really Kingdom Hearts 1. I mean, you see the other characters from the Kingdom Hearts on the stained glass like platforms, and Sakurai even said like he thought that was the best way to get the other characters in the game. I completely agree with that. I think 3D models wouldn't have worked as well. It's very Kingdom Heartsy to have them as like artwork in the background. That's very Kingdom Heartsy. Show off Nomura's amazing artwork. Perfect. Great idea. But aside from that, it's basically just the hollow bastion of Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's the dive to heart, for the most part of Kingdom Hearts 1. And I was surprised by that. But like the real big disappointment for me, the only major disappointment I have with this DLC pack really is the music. Is entirely Kingdom Hearts 1, except for the one bonus you can get. It is entirely Kingdom Hearts 1. There is not a single Kingdom Hearts 2 track in there, or 3, or Birth by Sleep. I don't know if they needed to go that far, personally. I would have liked to have gotten, the other Promise, 13th Reflection, some Birth by Sleep tracks and 3 tracks in there, like... It's a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer that the music is only from Kingdom Hearts 1, because despite the fact that 1 is my favorite, I think 2 maybe has the better soundtrack. But I do think that the tracks they went for one are excellent, great choices. I would have really liked Simple and Clean instrumental in there, especially since it was in the reveal trailer. But that's a little bit of a shame. But I don't think they needed to go that far with the music, but they stuck to it. It is a mostly Kingdom Hearts 1 representation, and I think you end up with I honestly can't stress enough, no pun intended, but it's simple and clean. That's really what it is. It's probably the best route they could have gone for in many ways. And I'm very, very happy with this. If I had to think of any other like negatives, I would have liked a Halloween Town alt or a pirate outfit. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, I would have liked Traverse Town as the stage. I always felt that Traverse Town kind of is the most Kingdom Heartsy area of Kingdom Hearts. It's very Disney. Traverse Town is very whimsical. It has that feeling that you want to go for. So I was surprised they didn't go for that, but Hollow Bastion's a great choice. It's all good. I'm over the moon about this. But there is one other major complaint that some people are having about Sora's representation in the game, and it's pretty obvious once you kind of watch his reveal trailer of the presentation. You start to notice something. There is a distinct lack of anything from Disney, pal. No Disney, other than the signature Mickey keychain, Mickey Mouse keychain, which was awesome to see, and love that they kept that in there. There is not a single bit of Disney. They went above and beyond to get rid of anything Disney-like in Sora. Some people are disappointed by this. I get that. I definitely get that. Would have been nice to see Donald and Goofy in his final Smash. I do think he still feels very much like Sora. I always thought he could get by without the Disney elements, and I won't go into like why. I personally don't think Disney was as harsh as people think. They've gone over like how they feel about Sora getting in, and they're not as bad as people make them out to be. I honestly, Sora getting Sora into Smash was not necessarily probably a legal nightmare from just not necessarily because Disney was mean or anything like that. It's more just because you have to go through so many people. There's so many people to talk to. His rights are very confusing and jumbled up. But maybe they just, maybe Nintendo was like, we don't even want to go through the hassle of the Disney stuff. It's possible Disney was like, nope, you're not having anything other than that Mickey symbol to advertise us. But I personally think this was Sakurai's decision. He has been very adamant about this before. Smash Bros. Is video games only. It has almost nothing whatsoever in all of it that has anything to do with anything from outside of video games. And I like that. I think that gives it its personality, its identity. And I think maybe he might have been, he might have really stuck to that. No Disney in Sora's moveset. It's entirely possible. I don't know why. We may never know why. But I think he still feels like Sora. And I think personally, this is one more reason why Kingdom Hearts 1 was the right choice to go with. I think that most Kingdom Hearts fans will agree that despite like whatever entry is your favorite or is the best, or whether you even like Kingdom Hearts 1 or not, Kingdom Hearts 1 is the most Disney-ish Kingdom Hearts game. I don't think anyone would argue with that. It's very whimsical, it's very magical, and most of all, the Disney characters are actually involved in the main plot. Like, they're a big part of Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, you might not like the Disney elements, but it's hard to argue that Kingdom Hearts 1 is the most Disney. And if you want to get Sora into Smash, and you can't have Disney, but you want to retain that Disney feeling, Kingdom Hearts 1 is 100% the right choice to go with. And yeah, I think that was overall the best decision for what they wanted. Obviously, some people don't even want the Disney in Kingdom Hearts anymore. They want it to just go all on its own. Regardless of, however you might personally feel about it, I think it's, Sakurai, Nomura, all of them, they want that Disney feeling in there. That's important. It's what Kingdom Hearts was built on. And if you want to go for that, Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably the best choice to go for it, in my opinion. I'm so excited about this. I hope everyone else is. I cannot wait to play him. I'm gonna main him. I'm going Kingdom Hearts 1 alt with Timeless River. I'd love to hear what you think about it. How are you feeling about his representation in the game? Do you like that he's more Kingdom Hearts 1-y? Would you have preferred to get more 3 in there, more 2 in there, you know, a little bit of Birth by Sleep in there, some more Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 music, stuff like that? Or are you happy with this? Do you think they went for the right approach? Either way, it's magical. It's amazing. His trailer fills me with glee. It's made so many people happy, and that's really what it's all about in the end. I could not be happier about this. Smash went out on an unbelievable high, as fitting as that is. I cannot wait to play as Sora. I am so glad he is now forever a part of the ultimate video game crossover. But those are my thoughts. Be sure to comment whatever you feel about it. Answer the pre-established questions if you'd like. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you all on the Smash battlefield in a couple weeks. I'm planning on doing some streaming and some nice matches with some friends. Can't wait. Super excited. Hope you all have a lovely day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!